Hold that for me.
Get Danny front and center because he knows the answers to the questions. Here you go, Danny. Get next to him.
Don't run. We're getting both of you. So we're just waiting a few seconds for the audience to build.
All right.
So you feel a little better when you're in front of everyone.
Good tip. How long did it take you to figure that out? Talking to a couple of people.
Yeah,
and
when you're
done
talking
by the
like
time 10 million
yeah,
people are on
right.
there.
Well, I wish it was 10 million. Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Black Dragon, and welcome to my YouTube page, Black Dragon National President. And today we have a treat. We have Brent and Danny. They look the same, so I'm not sure.
Danny, Brent.
We have Danny and Brent,
Morning.
and they are the sons part of French & Sons Motorcycle Transportation Service. And we saw them out here by this beautiful lake, and we decided to pull over and talk to them. So this is like impromptu, and
Yeah, we just woke up.
we just I called them actually at 1 a.m, so I was driving, and she said, you better not knock on their door. so we came back this morning to holler at them. So we wanted to give you guys some ideas that these guys are professionals at transporting motorcycles, and they have some sort of cool motorcycle trailer and stuff. So we're going to talk to them about it and get you guys started first thing this morning. So good morning, fellas.
Good morning.
And you guys are French & Sons.
That's right.
Pickup and delivery motorcycle transportation service.
Yep.
And you got a beautiful van here.
Well, thank you.
It's like the high-tech thing.
Yeah, we're lucky enough to have a friend at home that he runs a body shop, and he's all into hot rods and whatnot. We were going to get it wrapped, but he said, why wrap it whenever I can paint it? So this is all hand painted.
Oh, that's really nice. It attracted my attention. Now, what kind of you got a Ram 1500 ProMaster?
Yeah, this is a 2016 ProMaster 1500. If I would have done it again, I would have gotten a longer wheelbase, but it works. You know, we don't. We got a service shop that we do roadside assistance and pickups and deliveries. If somebody buys a bike from us, we'll deliver it to their house, or we'll transport a bike, within 500 miles. But when it comes to going across country, if there's a customer that's really worried about price, we'll tell them you can go with U-Ship.
Mm-hmm.
U-Ship is basically like an eBay for shippers. Shippers throw in their bids for the lowest bid, transport your bike. I've seen it work out great. I've seen it work out
But they're
terribly.
not particularly bike haulers.
Right, correct.
They're all over this.
So they're like freightquote.com, which was one of the first
Right.
people that did that. So if you got open freight on some sort of vehicle or some sort of truck, they'll farm that out. It's like hotels.com. So
Right.
you could get a great shipper who knows all about motorcycles, or you can get your bike torn up.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this. I don't know anybody at U-Ship, but what we do is that using it throughout the years, we found a couple of good guys in certain parts of the country, and we call them whenever we can. So we've used them several times, and we know them. So luckily, we don't have to worry about the risk in U-Ship anymore. But that's really the economy level transportation.
Sure.
We use we're an authorized dealer with a company called Hall Bikes,
Mm-hmm.
and I've never seen anything like it. They've got a huge big rig that all they do is transport motorcycles, and it's fairly cheap. It runs $500 to $600, and usually the delivery time is at the most 3 weeks.
Okay.
So that's what we use the majority of the time. Say we've got a bike and somebody buys it in California, we just call up Hall Bikes, and they're at our place, within a couple of days, and then take it on. I mean, it couldn't be easier, and that's who I trust the most. But
So let's talk about, why did you guys start this business? How did this come about?
Oh, well, my dad owned a Honda dealership from 1980 to 1990. And he might actually hold he was the youngest Honda dealer in the country. He started it whenever he was 21, before we were born. And then he, as you know, in the 80s, by the end of the 80s, the motorcycle industry just went to basically nothing. So got out of the business, but you know, he was still collecting vintage bikes and restoring them himself and having fun with them. And then I was in college, and we had some friends that had an e-commerce business, and they wanted an avenue to be able to sell online. So we had a building that we owned, an old building, and we said, hey, let's put a sign out front, you know, and sell some jackets, and we'll get a cut from this e-commerce business. Well, it turns out the e-commerce business, you know, left and the shop stayed, and it was basically my dad and a couple of his friends telling their wives that they're working, you know, and sort of just hanging out and drinking coffee. But man, we've been open for 4 years now, and I moved back and started working with them, and then now it's just so much work we can't handle it. It's a really good sign. You know, you read in the magazines everywhere the motorcycle industry's dying, and it's very dismal, but I don't know, it's a good feeling. We have a very strong, you know, used motorcycle market in our area, which I love. You know, it's people using bikes for transportation, you know, not only for toys. And we also have guys that have, you know, bikes for toys, and it's a good feeling, you know.
So what do you guys special in? The pickup and delivery, or the?
We specialize. We are, I guess you could. We started out being just a restoration shop for antique motorcycles, but really, Harley services really took off. You know, people don't want to go to the dealer. You know, it's so expensive, which I understand. You know, Harley dealers, Honda dealers, they all have massive overhead. My dad was a Honda dealer, and he said that's what he couldn't stand about it, you know, that you were always under somebody's thumb. So we specialize. We're basically a service shop, and we've got a apparel and gear and parts and accessories side.
And you guys are located where?
We're in Gulfport, Mississippi.
Gulfport, Mississippi. So tell me some things that a person should be thinking about when they're transporting a motorcycle.
One thing that you want to think about that I see all of the time is that you don't want to transport your motorcycle.
Don't worry about it.
You don't want to transport your motorcycle with your kickstand down on your kickstand.
Really?
Yeah, that's a great way to tear up your kickstand. You especially don't want to do it if you're transporting a Ducati that your kickstand is mounted to your engine case. So as soon as that
no, but wait a minute.
Gets
what
hit,
I do? Oh, this is I never. Okay, wait a minute. I've been doing this 100 years. I just learned. So what I do is I put my bike on the chalk, and then I ratchet it down onto the kickstand.
That's the other thing I was going to say. You want to be very careful using ratchet straps.
Oh my word!
Well, look, if you think about it. If you think about it, there's really no reason to have it on the side stand. If you're putting the tension at equal tensions on both sides,
right?
You know, that really you obviously don't want the bike's suspension to be moving, but you want it to have a little bit of give. You know, if you're rigid, strapped down with ratchets onto your kickstand, think about every bump that you hit. It's just being transferred from that kickstand up, and it's just one more thing to go wrong, and that was going to bring me to ratchet straps, only because I see people bringing bikes into our shop every day, and every time they pull up in the parking lot, like, oh God, look at this guy, like, oh no. But we had one come in yesterday, and a guy had an old CB 750 and ratcheted down all the way and blew out both of his fork seals and ruined them. So just from that 15-minute haul, now he needs a fork rebuild.
Oh, $500 at least.
So anyway, I use the way that I transport a bike on a trailer, which is what most people do, is I do 2 of these. If you can see these right here, actually I have them set up.
Okay.
2 non-ratchets.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Put them down, and then what I do in the back, I usually go wherever you can get a good bite on the back of the bike. Pull forward, and I actually use these nifty little straps right here. That you've got both a pull, so you can cinch down so that you're not ratcheting, get the tension done, and then you get a couple of clicks on your ratchet. So I use those two to pull forward.
Okay.
So that's another thing you never want to do on a bike, is you never want to pull forward on the front two and then on the back pull back.
Oh, come on, you're killing me.
because think
you're
about
killing
it.
me here. This is all the stuff I do and have been doing, and it's wrong.
Because think about it, on the back, all you're wanting to do on the back is just stabilize the back of the motorcycle so that it's not flopping back and forth. So you don't want to be taking away from your straps at the front by pulling against them. So you want to be helping the front straps by pulling with them.
Okay.
So that's
so now we rethink the way we.
right now.
I'm surprised I even have a motorcycle. Okay. So what else? What else do we need to know? I'm terribly disappointed with myself here, but this is pretty good.
No, well, you had one thing right that a lot of people don't do. You want to have a wheel chock, so that your front wheel isn't flopping all around. And if you don't have a strap, you want to secure that front wheel to something just so that it doesn't turn. But that's the basics. The hardest way to transport a bike is on a trailer, because you don't have much suspension. And here, I use a Condor wheel chock and then these two straps. And that's all I need, because it's secure in the wheel chock and it's secure with these two, and it's got a nice plush ride, so.
So I've gotten lazy, these days I only really use 2 straps and a chock. I stopped doing the back ones.
In a truck?
No,
on a trailer.
On a trailer. But then, of course, I let my strap get old. Yeah. And it snapped on me.
Oh,
and
boy.
My beautiful Victory Vision fell over.
Oh, no.
And I'm driving my RV, and I look in the rearview camera, and it's just laying on the side. And I don't know how long it was laying there.
That's
so
a lot of body work. To fix.
Fortunately, it was just scratches. But it wasn't body work, it was scratches, so hopefully it wasn't too long. But that's when I went back to 4 straps. And then, of course, but I've done them wrong. I have them pulling against each other. So.
The last time I used 2 straps on a trailer, I went around a corner and one strap let go. And unfortunately, I hate to tell myself, it was whenever we first started, and it was a customer's bike.
Oh.
And it was luckily, it was a Sportster. It went down, and it just put a big crease in his fuel tank, and that was it. But he was very nice and understood, especially since I bought him a brand new Harley tank, which you know what that cost.
Oh, yeah.
But so that was an expensive lesson that I learned. I mean, really, you want to have those 2 straps on the back, to stabilize the rear end so that it doesn't hop around. And if that happens, if you lose a strap anywhere, it's going to slow down the inevitable,
True.
Cause less damage.
So we've learned that you want to go with someone that knows how to move bikes rather than Freight Quote or this other U-Ship.
The other thing, this is a big point, roadside assistance. If you have an insurance company that will pick up a bike, do your best to be able to pick your own guy to pick it up, because all of the time we'll see bikes come in that if it's at their house and it doesn't start, they call their insurance company and they send a flatbed to go get it. Those guys on flatbeds, they haul cars all the time. So we have seen the absolute worst jobs of on a bike in the middle of a flatbed on a kickstand. They'll throw a giant ratchet strap over the seat and cinch it down as hard as they possibly can. We've seen bent kickstands and all kinds of terrible things. I'm just like, the insurance company doesn't realize that they just caused even more damage than they had to pay for to begin with. And I was just like, just call us and we take such good care of it. It's inside our van,
So I've learned this the hard way, breaking down on the freeway, going to Mexico and New Mexico and across the country we ride. And they'll send out, and AAA is the worst. And I love AAA because they have motorcycle towing, but in certain cities they have motorcycle towing people, but out on the highway they send you a flatbed. And typically the guy, and I've got at that time when that happened, I was on a Goldwing, and it's a 1,000-pound bike, and so they throw the strap around the forks, and your bike is like this, and they pull you up in the air, and you ride your bike up because you don't want to pull on your forks. So I've had to ride like 8 feet in the air, and then the center line is all oil. Yeah, so you're sliding around as the guy is putting
Oh,
you like
man.
that. It is the scariest.
That's a
And then you're
scary
way up there,
ride.
and then he doesn't have anything, no chocks, no nothing. So you're absolutely right. He's going to cinch down one side, cinch down the other, and then torque it down on your kickstand as hard as he can. And I've been through that about 4 times.
Oh my
Well,
God.
I will say that if you do have to have your bike picked up and it's going to a shop, before you call your insurance, I would call the shop that you're taking it to just to make sure to see if they pick up bikes. Because, you know, in town, our delivery rate, pickup rate is $50. So, I mean, if you can spare $50, the most I've seen it is probably $150 in town in metropolitan areas.
Sure.
But it's definitely worth it to get guys that know what they're doing, as you know.
Oh yeah. So you guys have like the most high-tech truck.
Not yet. We're getting there.
Talk to me about. I mean, you said you used this kind of truck, the Pro line, because it was shorter to the ground. Or?
Yeah. Well, it's a Ram, and we are Mopar people, so that helped. But it's a front-wheel drive van, so the loading deck is lower than say a Transit or a Sprinter. Not much, maybe by 3 or 4 inches, but every little bit helps. So that's one of the reasons that we picked the ProMaster. I never thought that I'd want a front-wheel drive vehicle ever.
Ever.
But
It gets that bed down low.
yeah, it does, and it's
So
nice.
you guys are coming back from the motocross races.
Yes,
Right.
we are thankful to Bel-Ray Oil Lubricants that they sent us some free tickets.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And so we couldn't pass that up.
No. And so I see you've got your Xbox game in there. To a couple of young guys on the road got to have their Xbox
That's right.
game.
I told Brent that we were going, and then he immediately sent me a email confirmation that confirmed he bought Supercross the game. So if the race doesn't go the way we want it, we
You
can
can
play
make
it afterwards.
So you guys are brothers. Do you get along well out on
We-
the highway?
yeah,
You're not
That's
beating
been
each
life.
other up?
Yeah.
That ended about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Fighting.
right. Yeah, but now we're best friends.
Well, I'm sure your dad would be very proud of you guys. You're representing the company well. So, French and Sons down in Gulfport,
That's right.
Louisiana. And these guys will tow your motorcycle. And if you are like you got to buy a motorcycle or something, and you don't know where to go to get a good motorcycle courier to take you across country, these guys know
Yeah,
someone
call
that
us.
can help you. So, what's your guys' number?
It's area code 228-206-2212 or FrenchandSonsMotorcycle.com, and you can shoot me a message on there. I'll be more than happy to give you some advice.
So, this is Brent, and this is
Danny.
Danny. It was a D.
I
knew it
forgot
was a
there for a
D.
second.
So this is Brent and Danny. We appreciate your time and getting you guys up
problem.
bright and early and
Appreciate
hanging out with us
Yeah.
at Black Dragon National President on our YouTube channel. Appreciate you.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Alrighty.
You guys, thanks for listening.